Good morning, students. Today we are going to be on Thursday. So we are starting with Skills 19, page 1. So we only have, there's 4 pages, but there's actually only 5 problems. So I'm going to be doing the even numbers. So even means 2 and 4. And then you'll be responsible for 1, 3, and 5. So I am going to skip Skills 19, page 1. Because this is something that we have been working with. So remember, if you go into the answers, right away I can see the equal sign. So what you're going to do for this problem is you're going to go ahead and do the left hand side and then do the right hand side, and then you're going to ask yourself, are those the same fraction? Are they equivalent? Remember that when we're doing that, whatever you have on the left has to be the same as whatever you have on the right. So I am going to go to Skills 19, page 2, and I will do this one because it's an even number. And it says each picture below represents a different amount of money. In which amount of money is the digit 2 in the hundredths place? Right away, hundreds, that means we're going to have Dr. Pepper. And hundreds is referring to I put an R, sorry. I meant to put a P. It's Dr. Pepper. So the hundreds, right away we know those are going to be my pennies. So for every single letter, I will need to write the amount of money that I have for each. So I'm going to go ahead and do my place value chart. These are my ones. And then I have my Dr. Pepper. Remember, the question's asking for a 2 in the hundreds. So I need a 2 in my pennies. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my money. And I have $10 and 5, that's 15, and 1, 16. So I have 6 ones, and I'm going to have to do my tens. And that would be a 1. $16. How much change do we have? We have a quarter, and the quarter is worth 25 cents. The nickel is worth 5 cents. And then we have 2 pennies, so that is 2 cents. And then we have 3 dimes. 1, 2, actually that we have 2 dimes. 2 dimes, that is 20 cents. I didn't see the last one. It was tricking me. I thought it was a dime, but it's actually 1 penny. So instead of 2, I'm going to combine all of my pennies, and that would give me the amount of 3 cents. So I'm going to go ahead and put all of those together. You can do it in your head, or I can go ahead and add them up. So I have 25. Remember, we're talking about cents, so don't forget your decimal. And then we have 5 cents. And then we have 3 cents. And then we have 20 cents. 5 plus 5 is 10. Plus 3 is 13. 2 plus 1 is 3. And 2 is 5. So my total amount is going to be 53 cents. Remember, we wanted a 2 in my pennies. So right away, I know I have a 3. So I'm going to go and eliminate it. So I'm going to go to G. And I'm going to do my ones place. Actually, my tens too, because we're going to have more than 10. My decimal, Dr. Pepper. How much money do I have? 10, 15, and 1, 16. Decimal, don't forget that. Remember, this is a nickel, so that's 5 cents. A quarter, 25 cents. Another quarter, 25 cents. We have a penny, so that's 1 cent. We have a quarter, 25 cents. We have, this is a nickel, so that would be 5 cents. Another quarter, 25 cents. And then we have a penny. 1 cent. So I'm going to put them all together. Dr. Pepper. So I'm going to start with my nickel, which is 5 cents. And then we have a quarter. I can actually put these two together and say 50 cents. We have 1 cent and 1 cent. I can put them together and I can say 2 cents. A quarter, 25. We have a nickel, 5, and then another quarter. I can actually combine these two. 25 plus 5 is actually 30 cents. So 5 plus 5 is 10, and 2 is 12. 5 plus 1 is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Regroup. There's nothing here, so I bring down. So we have $1.12. So that's very important because we have $1. So that means that I no longer have $16. Now I have 17 because I'm adding that dollar. What is left? 12 cents. Remember, the question was asking for a 2 in my hundreds. So that means a 2 in my pennies. So this could be my answer. But I'm going to go and check the rest. We have my tens place, once. Dr. Pepper. How much money do I have? I have $16. We have a quarter right here, 25 cents. We have a nickel, 5 cents. Then we have 2 dimes. That would be 20 cents. And I did the nickel wrong. I put 50 cents. The nickel is worth 0.05. Sorry, guys. And the last one is going to be a penny. And then this one is my quarter, which is going to be 25 cents. Let's add them up. I can put my 2 quarters together. That would make 50 cents. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my nickel, which was 5 cents. My 2 dimes, 20 cents. And then my 1 cent. 5 plus 1 makes 6. 5 plus 2 makes 7. So my total is 76 cents. Remember, we needed a 2 in my pennies, so I can eliminate it. Now for letter J, we have my tens, ones, Dr. Pepper. So I'm going to start with my money. I have 10, 15, and 1 is 16. My dollars, my wholes. And then if you look, this one we can do it in our head because this is a quarter, so that's 25 cents. This is 1 cent, so that makes 1 cent. 25 plus 1 makes 26 cents. Remember, we needed a 2 in my pennies, so I can eliminate it. So my answer would be G. So now we're going to go ahead and go into the next one, which is going to be Skills 19, page 3. I'm going to go ahead and do number 3 because you guys will be responsible for number 4. For this one, for number 4, you're actually going to have to measure the total length in centimeters. So you're going to need your star reference sheet. If you do not have your star reference sheet, you're going to have to look for a, what is it called? A ruler. And if you do not have a ruler, you're going to have to more or less estimate. Remember that 1 centimeter is very, very tiny. Like the little cap of a paper clip. The little top. Remember that the paper clip looks like this? So the centimeter would be this part. So you're going to have to more or less estimate. But first, try to look for your star reference sheet in your math binder. So I'm going to do number 3. It says, Omar sorted polygons into 3 groups. The polygons shown below, the polygons shown belong in the same group. Which description best represents this group? A. Polygons with obtuse angles. B, polygons with no perpendicular lines. C, polygons with one right angle. D, polygons with no parallel lines. So let's go ahead and think about those right now. So right away, if we look on the shapes, this one has a right angle because it's a right triangle. But this one too, right? This one has a right angle at the top. And for the last one, I kind of have to turn it around because you cannot see it. But once you turn your paper around, I can see the right angle. So polygons with what? One right angle? Maybe. Polygons that have no perpendicular lines. Remember, perpendicular lines, they touch to form 90 degrees. So let's think about this. If they do have right angles, are they going to have perpendicular lines? Yeah, because they have to make 90 degrees. That's a perpendicular line. So this is not true because it says no, and it actually does have perpendicular lines. Letter A, polygons with obtuse angles or polygons with no parallel lines. So parallel lines, remember, parallel are the ones that are not going to touch. So they have no parallel lines. Well, let's look at the triangle. Does the right triangle have no parallel lines? That one's an obvious because all the lines are touching. But if you look right here, this one does have parallel lines. How about the what's it called? The ones over here, the sides. Do they have parallel lines? Yes, they do. And it said no parallel lines. So I'm going to go ahead and eliminate it. Now, it says polygons with obtuse angles. If we look at the triangle, it has a right angle. What type of angle would this one be? This one would actually be an acute. Now, the other one, I have to turn my iPad, but if I do this one, what kind of angle is this? Acute. So it wouldn't work for the triangle, perhaps for the other two polygons, but not for the triangle. So I can eliminate it. So my answer would be C. Number 5, you're going to be doing it. And it's asking for the perimeter of the game board. Now remember, the shape is a square. Remember, perimeters all around. Perimeters all around. Oh, don't you know, perimeters all around. You add up all the sides. You add up all the sides. Oh, don't you know, you add up all sides. So don't forget to add because you're looking for the perimeter. It is a square, so remember, squares are Mr. Perfect. Don't forget. So now I'm going to jump over to the basic facts, and today we are going to be doing basic facts 15. If you notice, there is letters and there is numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and be working on the letters, and then you guys will be responsible for working on the numbers. Letter A says, round 650 to the nearest 100. 650 to the nearest 100. Ones, tens, hundreds. So where am I going to round? To the nearest 100, underline. Circle the number to the right. Ojitos, because this is the one we're looking at. Remember, when we're rounding 5 or more, add 1 more. 4 or less, let it rest. So if you notice, it's a 5. So what am I going to do? Add 1 more. Remember, we add 1 more or we rest to the one that is being rounded. In this case will be the 6. So the 6 gets 1 more, so he becomes a 7. All the numbers to the right become zeros. Second part says divide the rounded number, so 700, divide by 7 to find the quotient. This one's easy because there's zeros. 7 divided by 7. 7 times what gives me 7? That would be 1. Remember, the zeros did not get married because this one doesn't have any zeros, so they stay in my quotient. Letter B, round 488 to the nearest 100. 488 to the nearest 100. So I'm rounding to the 100, underline. Circle the number to the right. Remember, 5 or more, add 1 more. So we're going to add 1 more to the one we were rounding, which will be the 4. So he's going to turn into a 5. And then all the numbers to the right become zeros. Multiply the rounded number. So 500, they want me to multiply by 8 to find the product. We have zeros. 8 times 5, that equals to 40. We have zeros. When we multiply, we say quito, pongo. 1, 2, and 3. So my product is 4,000. Letter C, round 329 to the nearest 100. 329 to the nearest 100. So they're rounding to the nearest 100. Remember, circle the number to the right. 5 or more, add 1 more. 4 or less, let it rest. It's actually 4 or less, so it says to let it rest. Who is going to rest? The one we were rounding, the hundreds. So the 100 will stay the same. And then the numbers to the right become zeros. Multiply the rounded number by 4. The rounded number is 300. Multiply it by 4 to find the product. 3 times 4 is 12. Quito, pongo. 1, 2, and 3, comma. Letter D, round 216 to the nearest 100. 216 to the nearest 100. Remember, circle the number to the right. So it's a 1. So it's going to be 4 or less. Let it rest. Who's going to rest? The 2. And the numbers to the right become zeros. Divide the rounded number by 5. So the rounded number was 200. We are going to divide by 5 to find my quotient. 5 times what gives me 20? That would be 4. Remember, the 0 se quedó solito, so we bring him to our answer. Letter E, round 396 to the nearest 100. 936 to the nearest 100. Circle the number to the right. So we're looking at the 3. 5 or more, add 1 more. 4 or less, let it rest. So who's going to rest? The 9. Numbers to the right become zeros. Divide the rounded number 900 by 9 to find the quotient. 9 times what gives me 9? That would be 1. Remember, when we're dividing, this one doesn't have any zeros, so they do not cancel out. So we leave them in our quotient. So my quotient is 100. So boys and girls, you guys are going to be responsible for completing Basic Facts 15, 1 through 5, just like the ones I did with the letters, exactly the same. Let me know if you have any questions, so I can go ahead and help you with any problems that you have. Also for Friday, since I'm not going to do a video for Friday because you have to submit that as your work, you are going to be doing Basic Facts 16, which looks just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and do one of them so that you can guide yourself, and you're going to do the other 3. I'm going to do letter A. And letter A says, the Mendez family took a 195-mile rafting trip on the Colorado River for 5 days. If they rafted the same number of miles each day, which is the best estimate? You round first. Of the number of miles rafted each day. Round to the nearest 100. Each means divide. Same number means divide. Now, this one's a two-step problem because they want us to round, but we also have to divide. So I'm going to go ahead and take my problem, which is the total, 195 miles, and I'm going to divide that by 5 days to find each. I want to know each day. Step number 1 is to round. They're asking me to round to the nearest 100. So I'm going to take 195 and I'm going to round to the nearest 100. So I'm going to circle my tens, the number to the right. Remember, 5 or more, add 1 more. So my 1 will become a 2. The numbers on the right turn into zeros. We were dividing by 5. So I asked myself, 5 times what gives me 20? That would be 5 times 4. And then the 0 cannot cancel out because he did not get married. So my answer will be 40. So for Friday, you guys will be doing basic facts 1, B, and 2. You're also going to be working on your skills, and you will be doing skills 19, page 5. You're going to be doing skills 20, page 1, and skills 20, page 2. So there's a total of 6 questions. 6 questions and 1 more. That will be 7 questions that you're going to be doing. Remember to take a picture and upload to Seesaw. If you can't, you can always send me a picture on my phone as well. But you're going to only take a picture of your skills. The basic facts, you do not need to take a picture. Unless you want me to check it, you can always do that and I can give you feedback. But I do need skills 19, page 5. I need picture for skills 20, page 1. And picture for skills 20, page 2.